Good evening, everyone. We are back this week and we are still talking about wellness. We are in our wellness series because wellness is how you show up in your relationships. And wellness, as we know, comes in all forms. Social wellness, we talked about that last week. We've talked about financial wellness and we've talked about physical wellness. And all
We
of
talked
these.
about sexual wellness. I
Oh,
don't
that's
know
right.
why
I
you're
forgot
skipping over that.
passion. That's right. I forgot. Yeah, that was a big
If you
one.
guys
That's
didn't see
important.
that, go back and catch that one.
Yes, and that's an important one. The passion of wellness in a relationship. That's an important one. So you guys go back and check out that video. That was a couple weeks ago, right, right, Wendy?
Yes.
A couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Well, today we're going to talk about emotional wellness, but I'm going to let Wendy tell you something before I get started.
Oh, we need you to like. We want you to share. At least like. If you don't do anything else, like it. We want you to share. We
And
want you to
subscribe.
comment. What's that? And
And
subscribe.
subscribe.
Yes,
And when you
absolutely.
subscribe, click the bell so that you'll get updates whenever we have new content. We have new content every single week. So if you like what you're hearing, please click that bell so you can hear more. And you know what? Join our community. We are creating a community of love. And when I say that, I truly mean that because, we talk about relationships, wanting to still be in a relationship, as you mature. And that's important for your well being.
Mhm.
There's nothing like companionship to put you in a different frame of mind. Right, Wendy?
Right, right, absolutely.
So we're going to talk about emotional wellness today. And you know what? And because I'm not well versed on this, I am learning too. So I'm going to read a little bit. So it says that emotional wellness is an awareness, understanding, and acceptance of your emotions and your ability to manage effectively through challenges and changes. So now the experts say that people that are emotionally well bounce back from difficulties faster and are more resilient. And that makes sense to me when I thought about it, because if you are in a good space emotionally, things don't affect you to the point where you get, like Wendy said last week, stressed, depressed. And, we talked about how all these things connect together. And the
Mhm.
experts went on to say that being emotionally well helps you build better relationships. Um, you're aware of it helps you be more aware of your emotions and can help you talk about your feelings more clearly. Think about
Yes,
that, as
yes.
opposed to getting upset and bringing, because they always say, women are more emotional, and we are, but if you are in a good place emotionally, you can have those kind of conversations in a calm, relaxed manner. Yeah, the men.
I gotta tell you, Chris, this could affect your personal life. It can affect your life at work. I've had some recent conflict with a coworker of mine, and I think she had something going on at home or whatever. But
Right.
she just yelled at me and screamed at me, and we
Really?
we had to get together for some conflict resolution.
Oh my goodness.
I realize that a lot of people are coming out of this pandemic, okay? They're on,
And that's really sad that it's still about the pandemic.
it is. I mean, it is because it has wreaked havoc on our emotional wellness.
Yes, I agree.
Mhm.
I definitely agree. So being emotionally well can really help you develop the better parts of yourself, making it easier for you to communicate with people,
Mhm.
to develop those relationships, especially when you're in a social environment like we talked about last week. All of this is like a thread that just runs together. When you are, socially active, if you are emotionally well, you can enter into good conversations, you can meet people, you can be relaxed. It all plays together. But here are some things to improve your emotional wellness.
Oh, good.
Manage stress. We talked about that last week. If you can manage your stress, you can really improve your
So
emotional
how do you
wellness.
do that, Chris? How do you manage your stress? I'm just curious.
You know what? Relaxation, meditation, and we talked about that from physical wellness standpoint.
Yeah.
But sitting down, meditating, breathing. Find
Yeah,
a breathing exercise. All of those
yeah.
things can help you, because what you need to do is bring yourself down to where you're centered, where you're relaxed,
Mhm.
your shoulders drop, you feel good, you're comfortable. And believe me, you sit in that position, that posture for like 15 minutes or so, and you can pray, you can chant, you can do whatever you do to make yourself feel better. And
Yeah,
another thing to manage stress, you just can't let shit bother you. I'm sorry. Just you can't just let everything bother you.
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta let stuff just roll off.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Is that
And,
is to
and-
say?
and you know what? That is, and this too shall pass.
Yes, yes.
That is
Mhm.
another way of being emotionally well.
Yeah,
Everything don't last forever.
right. This
Things,
is true. This
things
is
tend to
true.
last forever because you know what? You let them last forever. Let it go. Let it go.
And you
But
play them, play it over and over in your mind sometimes.
exactly, exactly.
Whatever's
And you know
bothering you,
what?
you just keep
When
playing
you
it.
mentioned last week, we were talking about managing stress. Sometimes you might need someone that you can talk to,
Yeah.
because sometimes, like I said, you can be stressed and you not know why you're stressed. And sometimes having someone that's not tied to you ask you questions can help you, bring these things to light. So,
Yeah.
sometimes just having a third party involved, yeah,
Mhm.
a psychologist, I mean, a sociologist, whoever, I'm not sure,
Yeah. Yeah.
whichever person
Yeah.
does
You know,
that.
you know what I do, Chris, when
Oh
I'm
yeah,
stressed?
what do you do?
Well, there are a couple of things. I've got some coping skills, but my one of my favorite things to do, and it's really kind of, I don't know if people, it's the adult coloring book.
Oh, I have one.
But
Remember I
I
did,
tend to like color hard and then my hand hurt.
I'm like,
But a friend of mine told me that they have an app so you can do it on your phone and it's not,
oh,
yeah.
okay.
Because I'm always,
But I like the books because I'm telling
yeah,
you, and guys, you know what? This is what I found with the coloring books. It takes you away from where you are. You start just looking at what you're doing. You're like, oh, okay, let me do this here. Let me change this color
it takes
here.
a while to complete.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But it takes your mind off of whatever it is that you're
yeah.
stressed about. So there are a lot of different ways, to cope with stress.
Mhm,
Meditate, adult coloring books, um,
mhm.
do chants, pray, that helps as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you're into taking um, different types of herbal medications, but magnesium is a good stress reliever. You take it
Mhm,
at night. It's a tablet. You take it at night. You can get it in liquid form, but like
mhm.
anything, you want to confer with your doctor first before you
Yeah.
take the
There's
it-
some teas that are make,
yeah,
sleeping teas that
exactly.
help you relax and
Exactly. But I can speak to the magnesium because I've taken it, especially when I'm
mhm.
stressed and
Oh,
I
that was really good for recovering from
so
exercise too.
oh, okay. Didn't know
Yeah.
that. That's good to know. That's good to know. So another way to improve on your emotional wellness is to seek balance. So, have a variety of things in your life. Don't focus on one thing, especially when you're talking about socialization, do some different things. Don't just work all the time,
Right.
you've got to enjoy life. You've got to
All
love
work and
yourself.
no play.
Exact. All work and no play makes Chris a
You're
very
dull.
dull person. Okay, and I don't
Yes,
want
it
to be
does.
dull. But so seeking balance in your life, and that's easy to do. That's really easy. You just have to, and also find something you enjoy doing. If you're a crafty person, if you're a techie person, whatever you like to do,
Mhm.
there's something that you like to do that you never really thought about. So find that one thing, and that'll help you give you some balance.
Yes.
Another thing is be positive, because think about this. When you're positive, it's much easier. All the negativity breeds negativity, which brings upon stress. So be positive.
And grateful, just gratefulness too, Chris. Just
Oh, I
being
agree.
thankful and grateful, just really setting some priorities for your day before you get started.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
That's a very good idea. And you know what you can do. I have found this, and I don't have it right now, but I had found this little verse, and I used to say it every single day, and it was about being positive. So if you can find a nice, it's something, even a poem, anything that will give you a good mindset in a positive format to start your day. Or
Mhm,
just tell yourself, you know what? It's going to be a positive day.
mhm.
I'm going to tell at least 5 people something positive. And you know what? That's you start to feel good about that. And you just start to develop that whole positive atmosphere around yourself.
Yes.
Another way to improve your emotional wellness. Accept mistakes. And you know what? That's one thing that a lot of us don't want to do, me included. So, not doing this puts pressure on you and it increases your stress because you know what? The reason why it increases your stress is because now you're thinking about that and you're not really thinking about, okay, I need to just accept this because I was wrong and I need to move on. And you know that really can be hard. And think about this when you're in a relationship, you know, we become, like I said before, the angry person. Sometimes, you know what, even if, especially when you're dealing with men, yes, I said men, sometimes you have to accept something, even though you know they're wrong. You know what, accept it, move on, and let it go. And you know what, believe me, you'll be better for it because
Yeah, you don't have to win all the argument.
exactly, I
I
like that.
mean,
And you don't have
we're
to.
better at it,
Exactly.
anyway.
Exactly. And another way to improve your emotional wellness is, like I said earlier, I know Wendy said, well, I think, what did you say, Wendy? Um, Let it go, something to that effect. And then I said, this too shall pass. This too shall pass.
Oh, don't sweat the small stuff.
Don't
You
sweat the
see like
small
a
stuff.
corporate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because this too shall pass. Things only hang around because you keep them around.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's why they hang around.
Right.
And finally, accept support. So if you have someone in your network, especially if you're in a social environment and someone recognizes that you're stressed, just like how Wendy just gave me a great idea when you said, when I was talking about managing stress, you said, what did you say, Wendy, that you do again to manage
The
the color?
adult coloring.
And I've done that before and I totally forgot about it because I have an adult coloring book. You know what? Just go back to that. Just get you a glass of wine or a nice glass of tea or whatever it is you want. Sit down. And you know what else? Write your thoughts out because sometimes when you write things out and you read it back to yourself, you'd be like, "What? Am I really thinking that or acting like
Yes,
that?"
journaling is excellent. That's
Exactly.
a really good one,
Definitely.
Chris.
Especially when you go back and you start to read it, you'd be like, "Ooh, should I erase this? Because I don't want to die and have somebody read this."
No, you should get it out. You should get it out. You got to get it out.
I know,
That's
I
what
know.
we're doing. We're holding all this stuff in that needs to
That
come out.
that that is so true. Now, here are some ways to recognize when people have declining emotional wellness. So these are just some signs. And this is
Okay.
the time, if someone recognizes this about you, this is the perfect time to accept some support. Eating or sleeping too much, big
Mm,
red flag, big red
mm.
flag.
Yeah,
Anger, feeling edgy, another big red flag.
yeah.
You know that you're being affected emotionally. And you know what? All of those two things that I just mentioned, can take a toll on a relationship, especially a new relationship. And you're trying to develop a relationship with sometimes, eating or sleeping, and
Right.
especially the edgy part, the angry part.
Mhm. So,
Um,
or not getting enough rest is another one, Chris.
exactly, and
But
that
we
makes you,
we
and that
too
makes you
tend
edgy.
to emotionally eat sometime when we're
Right.
stressed. I know
Exactly.
I do. Yeah.
Overwhelming sadness. When you just let something just overtake you and you feel so bad and you're just feeling down and out. Another way to recognize that's something else that happens when you are in a declining state of emotional wellness.
Mm.
Um, Not connecting with others. So if you're in a social setting, like Wendy said last week, if you're in a social setting and suddenly you're just like sitting off by yourself, you're not connecting, and somebody recognizes you, and this is the acceptance part. Someone recognizes you're different than how you normally are, and they come over. They want to chat with you and they ask you some questions. Accept the support because
Mhm.
sometimes all it takes is one word from someone else to bring you out of the place that you are, that dark place that you are, the abyss. And
Oh, the abyss. How
that's
about how about too, Chris, on that note? Some people just won't accept the invitation. So accept it, even though you might not really want to go to this party or this event or whatever. Accept the invitation. Go out and be social.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And you know what? And 9 times out of 10, when you do what Wendy just said, you'll be like, I am so glad I
Exactly.
came out.
Yeah,
I am so glad I did this. And you will
that
feel
happens.
so good, you know.
Yes.
And then finally, lack of energy. Oh, and that's a big one for me because I like to work
Ooh.
out and whatnot. And people can tell when you have lack of energy, you're moving slow, you're speaking in a lethargic manner. You're not as outgoing and upbeat as you normally are. And when you're in a social setting, all of those things come to light just like that. They all come to light just like that. And man or woman, you want to be emotionally well in all aspects because when you're well rounded, you come into a relationship, it's a whole lot better. It eliminates a lot of the back and forth of being upset about something, or this person doesn't have this, you didn't tell me this. When you can
Mhm.
put it all out on the table and even just talk about these things, financial wellness, talk about it, share that information because it's nothing like finding out about something about someone from a financial perspective. And then you know you're not feeling good about it. They probably okay with it, but you're not gonna feel good. So, you know, your financial wellness has gone down because now you feel like, okay, well, you can't do this and I gotta do this, I gotta do all of this. No, stress. Now you're building up stress.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
all of this just strings together, right? Whitney, like you said, it all strings together.
It is very interconnected, very much so. Yeah.
So the bottom line with to improve your emotional wellness, you've got to accept support. You've got to manage your stress. And you know what? If you can't identify the stress on your own, you might need some additional help, a third party to help you manage that stress. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do not
No.
feel isolated and uncomfortable. Own that, own it.
Do not suffer in silence.
There you go. Perfect. Definitely don't suffer in silence. And
Mhm.
most of all, when you are emotionally well, you love yourself. And when you love yourself, you exude energy, you exude self-confidence. And you know what? That's when you meet someone at those times when you're just being yourself, you love yourself, you're just being outgoing, you're meeting people. And you know what? You're enjoying life. Because I tell you, at the end of the day, after you work, you have kids, you're taking care of your kids, or if you're single and you're just taking care of your life, at the end of the day, the one thing that you want to do is be relaxed, comfortable, and emotionally well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Any
I
thoughts,
think
Wendy?
that is really being the best version of yourself.
Exactly. And you know what? I like that.
Yeah.
Emotionally well is being the best version of
I mean,
yourself.
you at least you're striving for emotional wellness. You're
Exactly.
striving for these things.
And
Yeah.
people can tell when you're emotionally well, people can see that. They
Mhm.
just see the brightness on your face, the laughter.
Mhm.
You gotta love yourself first. And if you love yourself
Yeah.
first, it's a lot easier to be emotionally well. It's a lot easier to be socially well. It's a lot easier to be physically well. And it's a lot easily to be financially well.
All the wellness.
I know, right? All the wellness.
Sexual. Don't forget sexual. Yeah.
So I know I keep forgetting about the passion, the sexual. We're just gonna say what it is. It's sexual wellness, and you know what? That's really at the top of the list, guys.
All of them. All of the wellness.
And I'm just
Okay.
gonna tell you, that's at the top of the list, whether you're in a relationship or not, because Wendy shared with us um, what we can do
Good
to
for your
enhance.
heart, right?
Yeah, exactly. Our sexual wellness, putting passion back in the wellness. You don't always need a mate to do that. Just keep that in mind. Go back and watch passion, the wellness and passion episode. You'll see what I mean.
That was your takeaway, Chris.
I was my takeaway, right? No, I think that's what it was. All right, guys. When you got any parting words on emotional wellness?
Ah, party words. What is this month? Women's History
Oh,
Month.
this is women's. Oh, yes, Women's History Month. Yes.
So we, learn something about a Black hero out there, heroine out there, learn a little bit about our history. And I just hope everybody has a great week.
And you know what? You can become history. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be history in the respect of, a Sojourner Truth or, a Martin Luther King um, um, or any of those other wonderful sheroes and heroes that we can speak of. You can be that just because of who you are. You
You
can.
can, and also there are some in your family. Do
And
some
that's true,
research.
exactly. Look at your own history and
Mhm.
celebrate those women. So
Yes.
once again, like Wendy said, it is um Women's History Month. And
Mhm.
as African American women, we have made a large impact. I
Yes.
talk about, I really, we just came out of Black History Month, and our history is 365 days a year.
That's right.
But
That's right.
women created some of the basic things, some of the things that are basic today. 3D was created by a woman. Um, Call waiting created by a woman. So many things, were created by women. So women's history is vast, rich, and wide.
Yes. It's American history.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Mhm.
Well, you know what? The same thing. Black history is American history.
Yes,
Same
it is.
exact thing.
Yes, it is.
We're here and we're
Right.
not going anywhere. Well, Wendy, thank you. It's been wonderful as always. Hey, everybody, remember to like, subscribe, press that bell to get updated comment and updated content, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. We are still in our wellness series. We have a couple more wellness. We have some more wellness information that we want to bring to you, and we will wrap the series up shortly. But we hope you are enjoying learning more about uh, different types of wellness and how they affect you and how you show up in a relationship as a result.
Yes. Yes.
We will
I
see
hope
you
you guys
next
are
week.
enjoying it.
What'd you say, Wendy?
But I hope they are enjoying it and learning, and I
Yeah,
hope
because
it's
it's all about,
entertaining as well. Yes.
yeah, it's all about education. It's all about educating ourselves
Absolutely.
and learning more so that we can be a better
I'm
version.
learning. I'm learning.
I am definitely learning. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
So we will see you guys next week. Have a wonderful week.
Bye.